RWBY.
Hello everyone, and welcome to another Speed Paint video. Last year in 2024, I chose to draw the same character each month so that I have a full year of fun pictures to combine into an art summary collage. If this sounds familiar, it's because I did the same thing the year before and made a video on it. I wasn't sure I would do it again, but once I realized 2024 was the year of the dragon, I couldn't resist drawing my favorite character from the show RWBY, Yang Xiao Long. Since her name means sunny little dragon, I just had to do this project again. What you're seeing now is what I drew for January. I really wanted to start the year off with something cool. I'm actually not sure I was able to live up to the vibes of this one for the rest of the year, but you can decide that one for yourself if you like. I really love how determined and bright she looks here. So in previous years where I chose one character to draw each month, as time went on I always felt like that dragging feeling where each picture was like another thing to do on my plate and I just didn't want to. Not that I haven't loved each character that I chose, but it's very hard to stay motivated for an entire year to make sure to draw something within a certain time frame. Since drawing is my job, I also sometimes feel burnt out from working on commissions all the time, which doesn't really help in this situation, but I do really like having a goal in mind. After 3 years of doing this sort of thing, I haven't missed a month, which I'm pretty happy with. The next drawing is coming up. The month of February includes my favorite holiday, Valentine's Day, so I wanted to include some kind of heart theming for my Yang picture. I was really looking forward to drawing it, but when I actually got around to being able to do it, I wasn't able to put as much time or mental effort into making something cool or exciting. Making heart hands as a pose is fun, of course, but I was a little disappointed in how it came out. It feels underwhelming, especially in comparison to January, but I still think it's okay. It's cute in its own simple way. Next up is March. I have a bit of mixed feelings on it. I think I was able to make a fun and active pose, but I actually feel like the pose is a little closed off and stiff. If I could do this one again, I'd change the camera angle and extend the arms a bit more to make a more dynamic pose and silhouette. I still like how it came out though, but when I was posting this on DeviantArt, I learned my lesson in titling these images. Beforehand, I was titling each picture like Yang January, Yang February, but when I named this one Yang March, naturally people thought I was talking about what she was doing in the picture, like marching. That wasn't my intention with the piece. She's more like running or jumping towards the camera. Since it caused so much confusion in the comments, I decided to then start labeling the pictures a little better so that that kind of thing wouldn't happen again. For April's picture here, for some reason I was inspired to do a full body image. Usually for these I like to stick to half body. First of all, it's less work, but I often feel like I'm able to make a more exciting pose when they're half body because I don't have to cram all the limbs in some kind of dynamic image. With this one, however, I do really love how it came out. It feels pretty nostalgic as well, not only because it's her first design, but because I drew sort of a similar image back in January 2019, although that old picture was way less cheerful. Anyway, I was really happy with April's pose, the colors, and the general feeling. Next up we have May. I'm very happy with this one. It's nice and fun, and I feel like the angle was achieved just fine. It really feels like her. I'm glad I had enough energy at the time to achieve this feeling. I don't actually have a lot to say about this one. It's not super amazing, but I'm not unhappy with anything about it, so there's not really much to say. For June, I wanted to do something for Pride Month inspired by a scene in the show. What I ended up doing wasn't really going to be obvious on first glance, so I'll explain it. Also, if you like the show RWBY and haven't caught up, don't worry, I'm not going to spoil anything. Basically, there was a scene in Volume 9 that I really adored. I wanted to capture that feeling with Yang's pose, and the background I add in is also inspired by the scene. It's all kind of subtle, so even if you watch the volume, you're probably not going to think of the scene I'm referencing just by looking at this picture. I'm trying to be a little careful for anyone who's interested in watching the show, but basically what you need to know is Yang had a really great day, and I wanted to draw her feeling appreciated. I don't actually love how it came out though. I think it's a little weak, but that's okay. I still like the feeling that it gives. Next up is July. So 6 months into the project, and I do think I was kind of running out of ideas or energy, inspiration for this. So I just kind of made a random pose. I wanted to get across her cool personality, so I thought of something where she was sort of leaning on her leg in a nonchalant way, winking at the camera. Kind of cheeky, kind of cool, and no substance. But I had to think of 6 other pictures before this, so I was getting a little tired of thinking up concepts each month. It's not a bad picture though. I don't feel like it's particularly weak in any sort of area. I just think it lacks personality. Even though that's sort of the point of it, where she's looking cool, but I don't know. I feel like my heart wasn't like fully in this one. We're on August now though, and I actually think my heart was fully in this one. First of all, it's my favorite Yang design, which is her first one, and she's sort of like reaching towards the screen in an older sisterly hug. And that's one of the aspects of Yang that I just really love, is that she loves RWBY so much and takes care of her and all that stuff. And I just really wanted to capture that in this picture. And I think I really did. I mean, this is probably my second favorite one of the year so far. I love how loving she looks, and I am really happy with how her hair came out. If you know me, then you know I really struggle with hair, and I think the shading really captures the sort of wavy feeling that her hair is supposed to be. Next is September, and I actually really love this one too. I knew I wanted to draw some of her other designs rather than just like her Volume 1 design and her Volume 7 design. And I've always really loved the RWBY manga by Shiro Miwa. And on the cover of that manga, there's like all these different outfits that Team RWBY has. And I really loved Yang's, so I knew I just had to draw it someday. So I decided to do that for September. It's this sort of camouflage romper sort of thing. It was really hard to capture in drawing though. You might notice me going over and over and over again with all these different textures and different colors and all that. I did eventually get it to look somewhat okay. But yeah, the picture as a whole, I mean, I'm just really happy with it. It's exciting, it's fun, and it has the outfit that I really always wanted to draw. Next up with October, it's another pretty good one, I feel like. I think I was really starting to get my groove back as the second half of the year was going on. I'm really happy with this pose. I feel like it's super fun, and it's fun to see her doing it with the double peace sign and everything. I feel like I also had enough energy to apply a good amount of shading and detail, so I'm really happy with it. Next up though is November. Again, I have mixed feelings about this one. I don't think it's a bad picture, but it does feel a little stiff. I feel like the pose could have been better, which is a real shame because November is my birth month. And since Yang is like one of my favorite characters ever, I wanted to make something kind of special for it. So I even chose the design Yang had in the RWBY Ice Queendom show, which I adore that design. I have a little figure of Yang on my desk with that one. So I was really excited to get to draw it, but I just really feel like it came out kind of weak. It's a shame my little birthday present to myself couldn't have been a little better. I think she still looks cute, it's just not as strong of a picture as I would have hoped. But with that one done, lastly we have the final Yang. Here comes December's picture. I knew I wanted to really make sure to make something good because it was rounding out the year. So I did another full body picture. I had the idea of her walking forward as an explosion goes off in the background, which I feel like is a good end piece for the year of like, that was just a lot that happened over the year. There was a lot of pictures, a lot of Yang, and now she's coolly walking away. I really do like how it came out. I feel like it's fun. It also reminds me of the pose that she did when she went to infiltrate the club from her original Yellow trailer, where she walks in and is like, guess who's back? And then does sort of the little hand motions that I drew here. She's wearing a different outfit in that one. That one was Volume 2. But anyway, I'm just really happy with how it came out. I think it's a nice and fun picture to celebrate the end of the project. When comparing all the pictures, it's hard to say which one is my actual favorite though. Because while I do think January is a very strong picture, I feel like the background is just a little weak. But the pose and everything, I feel like is great. So it's hard to say that it's not my favorite. And this one from December, I also think, the pose is great. I actually really like the background. I feel like the explosion is really fun. But I don't know, I guess it's not quite perfect. But I really love the one that was in August. I feel like that one captures the loving part of her personality. And I think the quality of the image is also pretty high. So I don't know, it's between those three. Even though some of them are still pretty good, like May, October, and April are probably like runner-ups, or maybe like second tier. Oh, and September. I think September is also pretty good. And then the rest are just okay. But what do you think? Which one of these is your favorite? Go ahead and let me know. Currently, I'm still trying to figure out whether I actually want to do this sort of project again this year. I'd have to choose another character and make sure to draw them before January ends. so that I could have, the full year of it. I was kind of thinking Hinata Hyuga because she's my actual top favorite character of all time, so logically I should probably do that one. But it's another big commitment, I'll have to think. But thanks so much for watching this video. It was a lot of work, but I'm pretty pleased that I was able to do it again. Hope the start of year 2025 is going well. I have a few animations I'm working on this year that I hope to finish before too long, so you can look forward to those. But thank you so much for watching, and have a great rest of your day.